1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's episode of the Mudblood podcast. We're joined by Mark McCartney. But before we get into the show...
Is your balls dirty and hairy?
And he's not just talking to me, he's talking to you.
Is your balls looking like your grandfather's back of his neck?
And if they are, here at the Mudblood podcast, we have a solution for you. And it's called Manscaped. It's a little ball razor. You take it to your little balls and you shave them. It's coming up the summer. You don't want sweaty balls. You come up. Do you want to walk in the 12th with hairy, sweaty balls? No, that's how you get a rash.
You want your balls looking like Patrick Stewart in fucking Star Trek Generation, 5th generation?
Couple of backyards.
Yeah. That's what you want. You want your balls looking like Patrick Stewart in Star Trek's Generation, 5th generation, next generation.
Or the Mitchell brothers in EastEnders.
You want your balls looking like Frank Mitchell on a good episode of School Around the Corner.
Who's Frank Mitchell?
Who's
I'm
Frank
talking
Mitchell?
about the Mitchell brothers from
I'm talking about
EastEnders,
Frank
the two
Mitchell.
baldy ones. He's not even fucking baldy.
He fucking is bald, right?
No, he's not.
And if you want your balls to look like them, any
Manscaped,
Mitchell brothers-
Mudblood 20.
Yeah, or
Mudblood 20.
Mudblood 20, 20% off. And not only do you get the lawnmower, you get the nose trimmer, you
ball
get the
toner.
ball toner, you get the ball deodorant.
Perfume, everything.
It's
Mudblood
perfect.
20.
You get lovely, smelly balls, and with our code of Mudblood20, 20% off your order.
Do you shave your balls, Mark?
No.
We have to get you Manscaped, sir.
Oh, we'll get you Manscaped. That's it.
Would they talk to you in the town if they knew you were shaving your balls?
I like smelly balls.
Would they? But I
Your
would
own
say
or
that.
just in general?
Well, it's a kind of a masculine thing, you know. Who's the bigger bush wins.
Well, I'm very feminine, and I like my balls
So in the
shaved
country they have a
clean.
festival, like a tractor festival, and then a hurry ball competition.
But if you don't want that,
to-
Mudblood20,
And get yourselves shaved the ballocks.
enjoy the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mudblood Patreon podcast. We're joined today with my good friend
Patrick McDonald.
Patrick McConnell.
Fuck up!
We'll get on that in a second. And our guest today is the fucking magnificent Mr. Mark McCartney. How are you, sir?
Do I need to go closer here? Or?
A wee bit. Paddy doesn't, but he should. Like, Paddy likes to lean back, Fat Joe style, but you need to...
Fat Joe style?
Yeah, he has a song called
Your
Lean Back.
handy wee moves.
Don't be saying that to Mark.
He
Mark
has a
is
song.
guest.
He has a song called Lean Back.
I'm actually excited that we'll have Mark on.
Are you?
Oh yeah, big fan of Mark's.
Oh, Mark's fucking great. He's
don't
been
worry.
requested as well. He's been in demand.
Massively.
I'm a huge letdown after the first while.
I love that when people bring you up and you're like, what the fuck?
Anything I do 30 seconds is the peak, and then it's just downhill after that.
I hate that before someone brings you on stage, especially if it's like a wee quiet gig and they're like, this guy's been on TV, he's fucking selling out shows, and then you
Your
go
man
up
done
and
that.
down your hole.
Your man done that to me in the Nortel Club.
What do you think?
He says, this guy's gig for the Sultan of Brunei. He was in Faller's Head, main character. And I'm like, as soon as I walk out there, people's going to go, who the fuck is that?
Who were you in Father's Head?
Well, that's I would like to know.
The main character, Father Ted, died.
Father's Head?
He was on Live with the Apollo. It was just like, he just done this whole, I'll big you up, he said. And I went, don't just say my name. Because if you big me up and it's shit,
Aye.
then
Yeah.
both of us look like dickheads. He's like, don't you worry about it, I know what to say. He was on Live with the Apollo. Was Mega McIntyre, you know, it was just like,
He was Michael McIntyre. He's transitioned now.
In a past life.
fucking wanker.
It's also like going to gig for the Sultan of Brunei. Like
And
like
where
someone
did
in
that
West
even come
Belfast
from?
gonna be like, fuck, the Sultan of Brunei has good taste.
Somebody's going,
You don't get
"Something
shite on."
Brunei is at the arcade in Newcastle.
But yeah, I hate when that happens, because anytime that happens, it's like you're condemning me to a shit gig, because I can't live up to like all this hype you're putting up. Do you know what I
Thankfully, it's
mean?
never happened
In
to me,
fairness,
No.
I do big Willie up a wee bit because I go, welcome to the stage, Connor Burns, and he comes out.
He did it to me once. I refused to come out. Like, I was off stage with a mic and you just heard me going, I'm not coming out until you say my name. Cause what was the other time you went, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Hart? They expected me to walk out, and I was like, I'm not coming out to that, because they're expecting Kevin Hart.
Yeah, do you know what? In fairness, a lot of people do think you're the white version of him.
Irish, well tanned.
Do you see the,
If Willie's burned off, he's Kevin Hart.
Did you see the photo? Colin and
It really
Shane together.
did
And so
so look like you in the sense of the eyes. And
the
I
wee
was
smile.
going to put the wee face on it the night before, and then your mum put that on, and they got a bit ridiculed at me. Fuck it, I'm saying fuck all.
oh, see if you'd have put it on, I'd have texted you being like, "You take that down.
Right
You're
down.
not
Tell me
allowed
this:
to."
who is Connor Burns?
Him,
Because I've seen him on here, but like, where did he come out of? Or
his mummy apparently, but
He's just
I
a
started.
header out the west.
He is just a. He's not even from the west.
Oh,
he's
he's
from
a-
North
the-
Belfast.
he's the character.
The local character.
Every town has one.
Yeah. It's a very Irish thing, that of like someone who's not right in the head. Instead of like helping them, we just go, "He's a fucking rocket,
But
isn't
it's
he?"
funny to hear how that works, because it's like, if you had Kevin Hart and Connor Burns out there in the hall, everyone would go take Connor in.
Yeah.
Oh, no one would want. No one would give
Here
a
they
fuck
don't-
like Kevin
no
Hart.
celebrity isn't here.
Yeah.
No, they have the local character.
Oh,
like.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's why Frostbite Boy, like global superstar, and he was just some fucking
He
wing.
took a bad turn now. He didn't like the limelight at all. I tried to get him more times.
He got bad into the crack.
Because I remember a time when he was our Kevin Hart friend.
Oh, aye.
And then, mind he rode the white horse to school.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then after that, I didn't know what happened, but he just didn't take the limelight at all.
I suppose he just got people torturing him. If there wasn't a shopping centre being open in the country that he wasn't a part of, like,
He could have been like the next massive thing, I think.
Aye, but here's the thing: you need to have talent.
But he was a funny guy.
Yes, but not funny enough to write his own material. And
Well, I
further
see.
on.
I
That's
don't-
what I mean.
Did
That's
he
where
ever do
he-
stand up?
He tried to do it, and he was
Oh, did
caught
he?
out. So he done that, and they also give him a TV program, like
like a talk show. He did a pilot.
No, UTV gave him a camera and went, "Go for it," and they couldn't use any of it.
When
It
was
just
that? I
didn't
didn't see any
happen.
of this.
It's like a famous guy in the 80s went on to one of the TV shows and done this thing where he had like 6 dancing women, mannequins beside him, and done this whole dance, and everybody was like, "This is amazing," fucking blah blah blah, and they brought him on till Parkinson, and nobody ever heard of him again.
Really? It went
Because he
that
was
well?
caught out. It was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, he just had that act.
Yes, and that's what happened to Frostbite Boy. It was a one-hit one. And then the next minute you hear about him, he had to be rescued by the Coast Guard in fucking Kerry, wasn't it?
That was a very funny bit, to be fair.
But I don't think it was a bit.
See,
That was
you're doubting him now.
But
That
it
was
wasn't a
funny.
bit.
Huh?
But it wasn't a bit.
How do you know? You're a genius.
He was trying to have sex with a fucking dolphin down there.
If that's not,
trying
I'd
to-
pay good money to see that.
He was trying to fuck Fungi.
I'd watch that show.
Fungi
100%
left the
UTV
company.
Live.
Fungi was like,
UTV Live. Here's Frostbite Boy giving sex in the best
Mind
to a
everyone's-
dolphin.
after that happened, they were like,
That's me. That's how I fuck.
they said it
a
was
dolphin.
like a publicity stunt, and I was like, for what? he's doing nothing. Like
He had done see that Frostbite Boy? He had done work experience in UTV. So see the way that bit came out? He wasn't just some kid that was standing waiting randomly to go on a fucking bus to go to school.
Paddy's sitting with a load of string in
You're
his
going on
garage, being like,
conspiracy
it's all
No,
connected.
100%. Like I've been told, this.
Paddy King's over here?
He had already been doing like work experience in UTV, and that was all set up. Like, why the fuck would somebody just turn up and then just fucking? It
They
wasn't.
do that. They do that shit all the time.
but
Oh,
it
it's
didn't happen.
snowing.
Like the fall in Dublin on the ice was the 100% not set up. It was just some fucking dude
Yeah.
just walking around the ice, fucking banged his head. 100%. Frostbite Boy was set up.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think UTV usually, boys, the ratings are down here?
Yeah.
We need a retard in
No,
here.
they
to-
just wanted a funny story for the news, and it fucking didn't think it would have been as big as it fucking
Well, I
was.
used to go with a girl who was went to college with a doll that lived near him, and she said that's 100% him.
Oh fuck! He's a fucking joker. Like there's no doubt, but he done work, and they were.
Do you
like,
think they just heard him making the tease and they're like, what
no,
the fuck's
he's a
his
funny
accent?
cunt down in the place,
Yeah.
and they just says, "Well, we'll do a funny story with him."
Yeah.
And they didn't think that his bit, but he came off. It was all ab lib, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
it was
God.
set up for him to be there and to get the phone.
I've tried to get him more times, and he'll not. He moved to Texas.
He couldn't take it all. Went to
He
Texas.
changed careers, and he's doing like auctioneering now or something. That's true.
in Texas. Oh fuck me!
How the fuck can anyone in Texas understand him? No one in Belfast could understand
Do you
him.
ever understand an auctioneer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're saying
He's fucking
He's
set up
perfect
for
for
it,
it, 'cause that's the way he
100%.
talks anyway.
But you wouldn't be wrong getting
I
frostbite. You
think
can't.
we need him now more than ever if he's watching.
And when you tried to get him, Like, what was it to do a video or just on a podcast?
No, he like I couldn't. I think I put it up on Instagram or somewhere, and it was literally like friends of friends got to him,
Right.
and then the friends was messaging me going here. We've WhatsApped him here, and he says he's no interest in getting. He sent me a screenshot of him beside the pool in Texas going to go.
That's what you showed me at, eh?
Yeah. He's no interest in getting back in the limelight at all.
No, just done with it.
Not a good van.
Do you remember?
Men not talented, they've no time for entertainment.
Oh, so you're convinced he has talent?
I think if you steered that man properly,
See, here's where my
if he'd a good manager or something.
counter argument would be to that. Did you see the sitcom he did?
Did you see the
It's
fucking
on YouTube.
the
I've
music
missed
video?
all this.
Have you not seen
you
this?
seen the music
I
video?
didn't see him since his rise in BT ads.
No, did you not see the music video he did?
With the Eldon?
I've seen it, to be fair.
Take me down to the Feral City. I'm a
Maybe you
country
like
boy.
that,
You
don't
see.
you?
No, I
My
don't
friends
like
in
country
that.
music at all, but
Do you not?
no.
That shocked me.
I know everyone does, but no.
What are you into? Like hip hop?
Oh, death metal?
De-
No, I'm not really into anything.
No.
I'm the type, like, if I hear a song
And you like it,
I
you
like
listen
it,
to it?
I listen to it constantly, but I couldn't tell you who sung it.
Or the
Yeah.
words or anything.
I saw
But I don't have, like, I wouldn't follow a band or anything like
the
that.
video of you watching Brockhampton in London, and it was just the face of pure. Was it New York?
No, it was, what do you call that? Fucking Tyler the Creator.
Tyler the Creator. I thought it was
It was
Brockhampton.
a good show, to be fair.
But you just had the face of like a man who was so confused,
a
like you
fucking
had no
boat
idea what
came
was
out of the
happening.
ground.
A what?
A boat came out of the ground. Because we were at the top, and all I could see was a sea of people, right? And the guy was on this very class set. There was like a full house
Right.
on set, and then he started walking towards the people, and I could see the people starting to shift over, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" A speedboat came out of the people, and then the boat. It looked, because there's so many people, it looked like the boat was riding on top of them. I couldn't. I was trying to go.
This may as well be
Tyler
magic
Who
as far
was
as he's
this?
concerned. Tyler the
the
Creator.
Creator.
And what's he do?
He's a rapper.
And
You've heard of Tyler the
he
Creator?
got on
no?
the boat and was singing on the boat.
Old man.
It was unreal. I've never seen a show like it.
Great
play.
show.
You'd want to do that at the Fla.
A lot of. I just came out in a black taxi with a balaclava
You and
on.
a pallet just.
There's only
Fuck's
200
sake.
people in as you're sailing through a crowd of 30,000.
And there's going on. There's only 200 paid in.
He definitely, like, it was a very well put together production.
See, when I did go to like raves in the 90s, shit like that happened, but it was obviously the gear. It was.
You're hallucinating. There's no
Oh,
actual
aye.
boats, aye.
Do you know Talaki's?
Tyler the Creator's the guy that made the E's.
Talaki's was a nightclub in Ardown, and the genuine used to bring a guy who done illusions, and he would take his head off and all. And to this day, I don't know if he was
fuck
just
do you mean?
amazing, or was he like he'd be on stage and he'd take his head off and all, and fucking have it in his arm, and he was an illusionist. He's a fucking magician.
You were tripping balls.
But I don't know. I don't know if he's actually that good, or if it was just the gear I was taking. To this day, like why they had somebody, was it to catch the people on the gear? But I used to be standing there going, "This guy's fucking unreal," and he's getting £100 in Ardown tonight. Like he should be on the London Palladium. He's fucking amazing. He's probably shit.
And then he went on Parkinson, never heard of him
But
again.
he's in Texas with fucking Frostbite Boy.
Probably took Parkinson's after taking his neck.
Oh, yes, Frostbite Boy. But I was on that much gear that I fucking don't know if he was good or if he was fucking. I don't know to this day. But to me, he was fucking amazing. But why would they put somebody like that on a rave? I don't get.
It sounds to me like he wasn't on, and you've just seen a dude
No,
while
this
you're
Jack
tripping
scratches
balls.
his head.
Aye, and you're like,
Any
"He's
of our
fucking
fans
taking his
remember
head
this?
off."
There was a guy who used to go around the raves here, and he was an illusionist and done all this. And he used to be on the stage, 100%.
Before the raves, he'd open up.
What, during the rave?
It's kind of a rare mix. What were you on?
Mostly back then, we would have took E-tabs, like.
And these back then, were they goodies? Like, would they be
Unreal.
what they
No,
are
were
now?
proper fucking ease, like they
Yeah.
came in from Amsterdam and stuff like that there.
Aye.
And they were strong, like.
You ever
and then
been-
there was these ones came out called Malcolm X, and they were laced in acid. And people were just smashing bottles on their heads, like, in the fucking raves, like they were
That's why they're
fucking
called Malcolm X's.
Malcolm X's. They was literally like fucking unreal. Fucking, I had to stop giving them out.
Had to stop giving them.
I had to stop giving them out.
Have you ever been one for the ecstasy?
Drugs don't work on me. I've tried more times.
Like
it
the
doesn't
Verve
work.
here? What do you mean they don't work?
And I was in Boston, was 21, and I was like, well, when I'm here now, I'll go hell for leather, and these boys was handing out stuff. And they were all high. I was sitting reading the paper and not the fucking.
Who the fuck takes drugs and be like, get me the Daily Telegraph?
I remember being at Slane, right? And Prodigy were in full swing. And it may have been you now. You can confirm us. What did you?
32.
No, it wasn't you. And this guy was sitting during Prodigy set. I can't even talk about it. Reading a fucking book on the ground. And everybody else is like full on mosh pit.
I believe he's on the Malcolm X's.
And he
Like,
was sitting reading a book.
So
whole way through the
when everyone
concert.
else is sitting fucking tripping, I was like, well, give me the death notices because I'm bored. Because everyone else was out of it. Like.
yeah.
And then the next day they were laughing. They're like, well, it was weed. It was really high, strong weed. And they were like laughing because they said I didn't, because I don't smoke, you see. So they were like, oh, you obviously didn't take it right. The next day he took out this weapon of a bong. He was screwing it together. And he watched me and he says, if you don't get high of this, he says, there's some people that weed doesn't work on, he says.
I need to just sit you down in a house one night and just give you loads of drugs because I need to see this test.
you take much
You should
Viagra?
give him that
I took it once, but in
what,
class.
Viagra.
Uh,
Oh, I take it every week.
fuck, there's a wild thing down
I
to
put
us
it-
now at the minute with
is it
young
the
boys
black one?
taking Viagra.
Is it the black one? But
It ends up turning black.
no,
What,
is
your
that
dick?
right? No, there's a black tablet. And there's a blue tablet. You can get see the black.
I've
tablet?
done the blue one.
You could the black tablet. You could open your door, your car.
Why would you take Viagra? You young, very.
I was in class and my mate went, I have a packet of Viagra here. Does everyone want to take one? See what happens. And all that happened was we were sitting in maths learning Pythagoras theorem. I'm like, fucking get the square root of that.
Did you show
Desks
the teacher?
off the fucking
Did
ground.
you show the teacher?
No, because he was stinking.
There's
But
the club's down to us now. Whatever. There's a friend of mine said he started one for the crack. Now he's in his late 20s. He says now he can't get a hard on without them.
He has to take it.
He says he's fucked himself up that much with it. And then he gave it to a friend of his, and he didn't even read the packet, and he took 3 of them. He said he was seeing blue for 2 weeks. His eyeballs changed. He read it all. He busted it that hard, so I hasn't spoke to him since.
how hard do you need to fuck her to stop speaking to you?
He devoured her like in the back of the van. Like it was. It probably hasn't been seen
He
since.
fucking wrote her off like a 306 turbo diesel.
He
Jesus
did.
Christ.
No, I did. I seen her actually not that long ago, and she can't even bring her eyes up.
There's a
Like, she
back
just-
end on her like a fucking cruiser in a Bora.
She hasn't looked the same. It's like she's came back from war, just hasn't looked the same.
he bust the sump in her.
She's walking like me.
She's like a barn with no doors on her.
So he said never again, hey, because it's wild year. Like.
Fuck me. I've never had that experience on it.
So you're probably taking 1, you're being wise about it. He took 3 at one time.
See, I only took the one, and it was like, because I wasn't having sex or wanking, it just gave me like a sore boner. Because the amount, the pressure that was going to it, and I couldn't
Aye.
do anything with it. You couldn't even take it out of your jeans because you're in the middle of fucking school. So you were just like, your dick was near bending.
Do you know the bit that shocked me about that whole thing? That you were wearing jeans to school?
It's non-uniform day.
I was going to say, it was like
Yeah,
fucking...
alright, but then
you're
no
like
worse.
an American high school.
Yeah. Just because you
the
wore...
Where would you like?
It's because you wore Celtic away kit to your school like that.
This was last week, he doesn't even go to school.
I just went in, just took a Viagra, and be like, what's happening?
Where else are we going to go
Whole
with it?
fucking frostbite boy
Everyone's
wasn't
like
going to
Mudblood.
schools in Texas anyway. Fucking hell.
No, well, he's home now, dude.
Is he home now?
Well, he was down in swimming with the dolphins, so unless he swam from Texas.
I thought that was after Texas.
Oh no, this was years ago. I tried to get him. That's
Aye.
when he was in Texas, but I think he was home then during the pandemic. or
Because he
whatever.
tried to join Sinn Féin, or he had maybe joined Sinn Féin, but he was in Sinn Féin for a while.
What are you talking about?
Frostbite boy joined Sinn Féin.
When?
Well, like they had him up, he was in the conference, and then he was fucking all doing all their work where he was from.
I vote for Sinn Féin if he was on it. Like that's what it takes to get me.
Like we can Google this.
Yeah.
But he joined Sinn Féin and was involved in Sinn Féin. Like he was at the RGS and stuff like that there.
Wouldn't be long getting to United Ireland.
Wouldn't be long if you were in the DUP.
That's where this country needs to go. More men like that.
I want to see on question time. I want to see Connor Burns versus Frostbite Boy.
You,
That
you
gets me in
would
the
vote
politics.
for them?
Oh,
They'd
100%.
be like Big Brother.
Because they talk more sense than actual politicians. Connor Burns just going,
Well,
Conor Burns,
politicians.
listen, see if we don't sort all this out, because I have friends that side, and I have friends on this side, and all around the world in Sydney. I'm getting Alexander Burke over here to sort all this
he'd
shit.
be Mark Davenport, be like, welcome to the debate. And he's going, shh, talk in that microphone, Mark.
Look in the camera.
We have to stop getting them on. People keep asking for him. I'm like, he is fun for the video, but when you're recording it,
It's a fucking disaster.
he's off because you're trying to be like, welcome to the Mudblood, and he's going, shh, hello, folks, and he just takes over. He's just, and you're like, so Connor, what have you been up to this weekend? He'd be like, people need to stop killing themselves. People need to look after their mental health and just talk to someone. And you're like,
You need to
Jesus,
get out on the
Burns.
football pitches and
I'll organise a minibus and I'll get us all out in a big game of football.
That's the politician you want.
that's it, isn't it?
Whoever's in the middle wouldn't do that.
Absolutely, they wouldn't organise a fucking youth club bus for the life of them. Burnsy fucking would. But is he speaking to you again? Because he stopped speaking to Paddy
Stop speaking
sporadically.
again.
What'd you do, Paddy?
Didn't get him an iPhone 13.
He asked him to buy him an iPhone 13.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Not in Burnsley's
Mine,
mind.
does every guest get
And
one?
then
Or?
he said he phoned me up the other week. He had a bit of a they beat him up the other week, and I sent him a message
Who,
to
Apple?
thing, and he was like, "Yeah, can you bring me over 2 loaves and 12-inch pizza with pepperoni on it, no garlic dip, and an iPhone 13 and a packet of Jaffa Cakes and a 20 £20 Vodafone top up." All right,
Imagine getting an iPhone 13, you're getting the £20 top up on it.
Are you related to him?
no,
What are you like
he's
looking
my
after?
dad. He's my dad.
Is you know?
I know, he just texted Paddy, asked him when it was his birthday, he's like, can you book me a hotel for tonight?
Yes, can you book
bring
me a
all my
hotel
friends?
and balloons and cards and a few girls? And we'll all
He really is like a politician. Isn't he? Text Paddy there and get on the
see what I
table.
can get.
He burns Kennedy, like, he fucking he loves the women, bless him, he loves them.
He puts it up and he goes, all you single ladies out there tonight, if you just want to get in contact with me, do now.
We have a boy like that down home, and he tried to kill the wife.
He had a wife?
He tried to kill the wife, and he just married her, and he hated her straight away. So he went into the vets, and he got rat poison,
Jesus Christ.
and he put it in their cornflakes. And he watched her. She ate the cornflakes, and eventually she just down she went, head hit the table. So she took her body and put her in the link box, the tractor. And he was driving out the lane. He had a bump, and she woke up. But he got the wrong stuff. It was rat repellent he got, not rat poison. But she dropped, and she woke up with a link box with a shovel beside her. So she knew this whore was trying to kill me. So she left, but he never got arrested or anything. Because we keep touts out. We don't like telling anyone. So.
We don't like trying to kill him.
But if you met her, you can't understand. And he's doing well now. He's driving for the Chinese.
The restaurant or mafia?
Delivery.
I love how that's your, like,
That's absolutely true.
that's the parameters for a retard where you're from. Someone who gets rat repellent instead of poison, full retard.
Not retard.
Listen, you tried to
He's
kill
a
me, it
standing
didn't
member of
work.
society.
It didn't work, but sure, we'll still be friends. Well,
He's the mayor of Fenton.
See, Burnsy would never get away with that because he's not allowed to drive at
Oh
all.
no, we keep our secrets close down home. We don't tell anything.
We do have a character where I'm from in Ballybean. It's a guy called Sammy ABC, right? And he's called Sammy ABC because he spells out words instead of saying them. So if he sees you in the street, he's like, Hello, Mark, right? But he's quite a cheeky bastard. But by the time you've worked out what he's called you, he's away.
He's long gone.
So he's like, what's happening? You FATCUNT? And you're like, right, Sammy, he's called me a fat cunt. And he's away. We
See, them boys, I don't think there's a want in them. I think they're just ahead of the next stage of evolution.
What?
Them characters.
yeah. See, in America, like, I thought it was an Irish thing until, like, I was in America, and in Waywood, they were singing at it. And everyone spoke about singing at it. I'd never seen him yet. And then one day I was there, and you weren't allowed your bike on the boardwalk after 11 o'clock. You could ride it on their roller skates, whatever. Once 11 o'clock came, you couldn't, because people's walking about it. And I seen fucking singing Eddie for the first time, and he flies about on a big fucking American bike with a big swoopy fucking handlebars. A Walkman, Sony Walkman, full fucking tuxedo, and a corset in his hand, and singing songs from the fucking 80s. And I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, that's singing Eddie. And I was like, what happened? And they were on their way for his prom, and they were in a car accident, and his man and dad died. And he didn't move on from that day.
So he's just going about,
He thinks it's his
I
prom.
wish
every
I
day.
was Jesse's girl.
Every fucking day.
Where's the corset come from?
So he didn't get to meet his date, so that's the corset for his fucking date that he's going to take till the fucking formal. He was on his way to her house. So every day
Was it a good
he wakes
formal?
up. Well,
It's a good form.
he obviously didn't make it. But every day he gets up, it's as if he's going. So he gets on the bike. And
Groundhog
fucking-
Day.
and wears the fucking tuxedo and fucking has the corset.
And there's
has the
nothing
Walkman.
like mentally wrong with him. He
No,
just
he's fucking totally gone. Like, obviously, he fucking cut out of a car. His man dad died in.
Oh,
He
yeah.
didn't die.
But I mean, there's
And
no
he-
like
he was
brain
in
damage or
hospital
anything.
for
Oh right,
fucking
okay.
months. So I don't know if he was a coma. I just know that story. And he's called Singing Eddie. And I'm like,
Does he know his man and dad are dead?
Tragic. That is fucking tragic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he's just a big fucking tall guy, like. But obviously he's fucking AIDS now, like. But he,
He's AIDS now.
oh,
Fuck.
bucked
That boy has no luck.
bucked the monkey.
Fucking put that way of his misery.
I know. Singing Eddie. So he's a character. That's a character there.
Cuz just going about the wee BMX singing Caribbean Queen, mind his own business. Bless
Where's
him.
this in America?
America, right? Wildwood.
Did you live there?
On and off. Illegally, yes.
Where was it?
Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. How long were you there?
On and off, 3.5 years I was going over.
My old boy went out for 6 months. He never left the apartment. Scared the life out of him.
Is that right?
Too many black people, he said. No, he's not racist, but
No, yeah, it's not a thing a racist
scared
would
the
say.
Like, can you imagine if you lived in the country?
No, I get you.
You never seen a black person in your life?
Yeah.
Scare the life out of you.
I get that because, like, I think, like, even when I go to England, I'm not afraid of them, but I notice, I'm like, we're white as fuck.
But it's not even.
Back home.
It wasn't even that. No, because you know the way they were going like gangsters. And so he was a fucking gam, still a turf in the back pocket. You know, he was
Aye.
scared the life out of him. He didn't leave the apartment for 6 months. Then he came home.
In fairness, he got 6 months out of it, like.
I have understood so much about you from that one story.
That wasn't me.
But you make sense now after hearing that
Why?
story.
I like black people.
Just couldn't live in the
Just because
same place.
you're quite a, you're not a recluse, but you keep yourself to yourself. You like your privacy.
Oh, that's
makes
not.
sense
It's
now.
not to do with that. I'd be an introvert, like.
Yeah, you would, yeah. But, well, look at you, like, he's afraid to see black people. You went to Tyler, the Creator. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
I'm paying.
And he can
Take
make
your dad of that.
No wonder. Did you tell your dad that story before he went? He was scared. We didn't see they're going to come out of the road in a fucking motorboat here.
But this is in the mid 80s.
A boat comes out of the floor, your dad's like, never mind that, look at the tan on that
This is
fella.
how like backward it was. Like my father, first time he seen a pizza was in New York in the mid 80s. He was like, what is this? He didn't know. He just like he didn't know, and he says it was 15 litres before it was here. It was a big awakening for my old boy.
Just shows you, like,
And what they go out there for?
To work.
try and get money. He was out there for 6 months and done fuck all.
Well, he says if he'd have stayed, he'd be a millionaire today, but
What is he a trade? Has he?
black
plaster.
people.
Aye.
It's awful.
But it's just
No,
fish,
I get- yeah, it's
fish
not-
out of water.
yeah.
Like he just was so new to him.
Yeah.
And
Which
like,
is true, like, in a sense, because we're the only black people we really seen in the 80s, like, was genuinely an odd British soldier.
aye.
Do you know what I mean?
So he does hate them because of that, but
No, it took me a while to...
you need a more aggressive denial of that, mate. You can't just go, no, not really. You need to go, no, I don't.
No.
Is it where are we now?
West Belfast.
Is this where the IRA is invented?
In a sense.
Pretty much, yeah.
In a sense.
I wouldn't say invented, but I'd say perfected.
The IRA was initially obviously an All Ireland fucking institution. But yes, the professional IRA that you would hear of today were obviously born out of round the corner from here, in Bombay Street. And that's what people say. So he's not that far wrong.
Yeah.
Bombay Street was burnt down, which is just out the back there. And they say from the ISIS. And that's why the professional IRA's badge is an eagle. Or a phoenix. Which I know.
Yeah.
Different type of bird pollen. Jerry Adams on the phone. I think I found it's a phoenix.
But so where you're from is like a wee reclusive, like a wee town, basically.
Not even the village.
A wee village. Is this like a big shock to you? Seeing so not a big shock, but is it different?
Oh,
really
sir,
different for you?
whenever I first started driving to Belfast, it was like driving to fucking the Sahara.
Yeah.
Like it was...
That-
My father I remember we went on holidays one year, and my father nearly took a full-blown mental breakdown at the Belfast airport. He
Too many people
as
and
soon
all.
as he got past the Ballygolly
There's a black guy doing the
he
baggage
took a
handle.
nosebleed. No, it's just too much going on. Like, there's
You're right in
traffic and there's...
the absolute. Like I get what you mean, because when I first came back from America and we bought a house in Lagmore up the road, the first night I was in the house, I couldn't sleep because it was too quiet.
Yeah.
So your dad's like the opposite,
of it, like.
So your dad's like, whoa, this is fucking like,
Yeah,
when
like
did I turn the
he
noise off?
never could get
Yeah.
his head wrapped around it, like, but like even like, and then I suppose that did kind of instill to me. And I was like, fuck, I have to go
You're
to
gonna
Belfast here.
laugh at this, but you probably see better in the dark than us. You're gonna
Eh?
laugh at that.
Well, they have more pure darkness.
Pure
We have electricity.
No, I know you do, but
Probably.
like,
But
I'm
like it
talking
wouldn't be
about, like,
polluted the way a
like-
city would be.
Like you would
We
see
don't
the
get
sky.
pure
You
darkness.
will see the fucking. You would see the green lights and all fucking in the sky. Like if you
Oh,
saw it,
yeah,
we wouldn't see any.
No,
of it,
we
you know what I
don't.
mean?
Yeah, there's never
We
total
have
darkness
light,
in the
we
city.
have light pollution. You see, that's what it's called.
Oh, all the lights.
So
and
you
Yeah.
just can't be able to chase us across a field and we'd be falling everywhere, and you'd know where every stone is.
Yeah.
No, that's not under the night. We just know everywhere and in the ground. I left that stone over there last week. It's a different. It is funny. This like for such a small island, you go down an hour down the road, and it's like a different class
world.
of people. Like.
Different world.
The first time we met each other, I don't think either of us could understand the word.
Aye, 100%, yeah.
Because I was saying something, you'd be like, "What are you writing?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Because whenever somebody told me there was something wrong with you, I was like, made sense. It's like I knew that. I spoke to him. There's something not right.
If he was in our village and they threw him off the mountain.
Literally, there was times, the first couple of times, it took me a while to get used to.
But it's
how he
definitely
speaks.
softened, because I remember when I went out to New York when I was 21, nobody could understand a word I was saying, and then like every American was like, what?
Yeah.
But then we were out there in March and with no problems.
We got that in when we went to Canada. No one could. The only person who could be understood was me. No one could. They couldn't understand Shane. They couldn't understand Kieran because no one would change their voice. Whereas I would be like, "Hi, can we please get that?" Like I would just change how I spoke.
Yeah.
Whereas Kieran, when they went like, "What is it you want?" Kieran would go more westy.
I'm surprised it's Shane, because he's very
He
plain
would
and-
mumble a little bit. You're used to how he talks. He mumbles a wee bit.
I went balls is in his mouth.
But with Kieran, he's like, "Can I just get chips and gravy?" And they're like, "What's that, man?" And he's like, "Just get fucking chips and gravy." I'm like, he at one point asked for a full whack fry, and I'm like, "Kieran, they're not gonna know what you're fucking saying. Full whack, like he's in the middle of Canada."
Dr. Bartlett.
Oh, doctor's right. Is he not like an English professor?
He's a doctor in
Journalism, and a master's in history. I'm pretty sure.
Madness. How was Canada?
Fantastic, really, really
Loads of
good.
black people.
The weed was fucking unreal.
You have to pay to see them. You're not going to use this podcast, are you?
100%.
It's out in the Patreon. Like we say worse.
Just to be clear, I'm not racist.
I just say horrendous things.
Do you ever see Father Ted? So I hear you're racist now, Mark, are you?
So the joke of it all is, some doll messaged me when I was in New York, called me a racist.
Why?
I don't know.
She must have
Did you
knew
see
about
this
that.
podcast in
I
the
do
future?
not
There's
know.
Mark McCartney. His dad was here. He didn't leave the apartment.
That's
They're
twice now where I have got messages from middle-aged women. There's always middle-aged
Always the
women.
middle-aged women.
And she called me all the names under the sun. And she got to the stage with this doll, I was like, I'm going to message this doll back and give her a fucking redden her up, like. And then I was just like, no, I didn't bother, and I just deleted it. And literally there on Saturday, so that's what, 3 months ago,
She's back again.
she wrote a comment under one of my videos going, I love this fella, he's so funny, blah, blah. That's twice that's happened.
That's how it goes.
Where a woman 1 minute would call you fucking the worst thing in the world, and then a couple of weeks later...
I'm going to tell you a story. I'm not going to name the footballer, right? But there was a footballer of a certain team that I follow in Scotland, right? And he was
Wonder
over
who that
here.
is.
He was over here, and we were in the Rock Bar, and he put a photo up on Twitter saying, in the Rock Bar, having a drink with my mates. And this doll put below it, I hope yous all fucking die, yous Fenian bastards. Fucking up there drinking your Fenian pints with your thing. And he went to me, watch this. And he fucking followed her. Right? Mm-hmm. Next minute she followed him back. And he sent her a message and went, what's wrong with you, love? Jesus Christ, tonight I'm only out having a few pints with my mates. What's the problem here? And she's like, oh no, it was just, I'm trying to be funny in front of my mates. And I was like, where are you from? And she's like, the Shankill. We picked him up the next morning from her house in the Shankill.
Kneecapped.
No, we went in a fucking buckler.
Alright.
Net kneecap.
The modern day kneecapping.
So, went full circle.
He fired a few rounds.
I
into
think
it, like,
sometimes, like especially with
Volleyed
us,
the shots over her fucking coffin, so he did.
I think, like, especially nowadays when we like so many podcasts, I think if someone's listening to a podcast and is in a bad humour, and they hear just one wee thing, and they just go, I'm going to take it out in this cunt.
the
Jamie
thing,
Bryson fucking slobbered about me non-stop on Twitter. Right?
He
Me and him
fucking
would
loves
have
you now.
splits, and we met each other. And then there's nothing. Like, he put an apology up.
Well, that's the internet, because if you're face to face with someone, they're not going to say anything.
Don't I know?
But I'm a big fan of
certainly not to
sectarianism.
you.
Don't I know?
Yeah.
There's been many a door get snapped.
Yeah.
I love. See, when I hear a Catholic call a Protestant a black whore, and the Protestant go, "You Fenian bastard," I get butterflies in my
That's-
stomach. I enjoy
That's
it.
romance.
That's our
That's
our career.
That's Romeo and Juliet.
Like
Of here,
the
isn't it?
day sectarianism ends in this country, I'm living.
But this is how I say this with everything. Like, the way the world wants to go, like, oh, if like you're fat, don't call them fat. If you're ugly,
yeah.
no. If a fat person slabbers at you, call them a fat
Oh,
cunt,
right.
and they go, you fucking buck-tooth bastard.
Yeah.
That's how you get over
Now,
things.
we don't want to go back to kneecappings and bombings, but
No.
I do enjoy the...
Sectarian
If it came to the
banter.
stage where I couldn't call William a wee black hooer,
And I couldn't call him a Fenian bastard. Why am I even here?
It's game over.
Oh no.
What the mad thing is, you're saying people, the thing I get shit on the most for, like in DMs and stuff, is being ableist. I get told I'm ableist, and I'm like, but I am disabled, and they're like,
Because you don't look it.
yeah, no, because I don't look it, and they're still like, well, you shouldn't use the word.
Up close. Really up close to you.
Three main questions I get asked about Northern Ireland comics. Is Colin Gaddis a Fenian? Is Shane Todd a Fenian? Is Willie really disabled? That's the
Those are the same question 3 times.
Whenever I came on the scene, that's the number one question. It's like, do you want a united Ireland? Because then they get...
Yeah.
But I'd say I'm nothing. Like, I haven't set foot in a chapel since
Do you
I was
know,
I'm a
17.
political hooer.
I
Who's
have
paying
to-
me the most?
I have to be, like, me and him literally talk about exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
And we get more credit for that.
Oh, absolutely. Aye.
Because, and I have more fans in the Shangle than well, I don't know, but more likely I would think probably in there than I would
Yeah.
have in the
So you're
Fog.
doing the flan all now, isn't it?
Yeah, I
And
kill in the West.
crossover me and him have is fucking frightening.
To the
Mudblood
point,
is
like-
like the Good Friday Agreement 2.0.
yeah.
Technically, Bono should have been doing a fucking gig in the waterfront and raising me in his hands.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like we're like the modern day fucking John Human fucking
Yeah, Trimble.
David
Trimble and
Well,
Hugh.
you're called Willie Trimble.
I'm Trimble.
You're a tremble.
Paddy Fume.
But like,
Absolutely. Well, you'd get more out of this than
Yeah.
you would trying to be
People
civil about
appreciate
it.
it. People appreciate it more. And the only people that's offended to it is people who want to live in a house and put themselves away from everything.
Yeah.
And sit in their fucking wee stupid world thinking that everything's normal when it's not.
yeah, whereas like we get credit because we're on stage. Just it's that thing of like we're saying horrible things to each other, but it's like they're friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it comes from a place of love.
That's
do you know
what
what
always
I mean?
annoyed me. There's a thing too about here that I was used to see in Twitter and that about comedians here used to talk about nothing but Protestants and Catholics. And you're like, well, we don't, but it happens everywhere. It's like in America, all
They'll talk about white and
Jews.
blacks.
all
Yeah.
talks about white and blacks, like, and
the
so you
Jews
just
and
use
yeah,
what's
It's
that's a part
because
of
it's
here,
like if you're just talking about Protestants and Catholics, I think that's a bit redundant and ignorant. You're talking about society.
Yeah.
Our society
It is
is
segregated, yeah.
segregated.
Yeah.
When I go to England and stuff, obviously, like you don't do those jokes.
No.
You do
I don't
different
get it.
jokes. I do jokes about the English not knowing.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's their fucking fault. That's the angle I go in at. But like, some people are like, oh, all they do is talk about. It's like going. Oh, I went to Canada. All they spoke about was being Canadian.
Yeah.
They're
All
fucking
they talk
going
about
to.
is junkies.
Yeah, they're fucking going to because that's where you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I was going doing an Australian tour and being like, do you fucking see the Orange Hall up in Lisburn? Yeah, criticise me for that because they're not going to get it. But you know what I mean?
Maybe they would, mate.
Fucking down. Oh, that's terrible. I can only do Australian if I'm trying to do an English accent.
Go.
Not doing English.
Yeah,
Australian.
do an English one.
Fuck it down now, mate. And that's a fine
Do you
Australian.
want to hear my Australian?
Yeah.
Alright, you wee fucking fanny. Oh, fuck no. That's Pakistani.
It's a thing Lucy
It's
Kay does, but
Pakistani
it's
and
my-
Govan.
I can't do any accents. Mine's that thick and broad. I can't do anything
This
else.
is an Indian in Coatbridge in Glasgow. Alright, big man, what's your crack?
That's actually very good.
100%. Totally like Indian sound like that in Coatbridge.
I love doing accents because I think it's from the Louis C.K. thing he does where he'll come out and he'll do a racist as fuck voice. He'll come out and be like, oh, hello, welcome to the show. And I'm like, I'm really sorry about that offensive African-American voice.
Yeah.
So we change it. He'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, that was a racist black guy voice
Yeah,
when
it
it wasn't.
does.
But it's just saying, it's
I got
That's
in a
so
bit of
funny.
shit because last week I was talking about. I've been amusing myself by thinking about the Indians that do the markets here, phoning up the Chinese people in Hong Kong to order the fake bags. That conversation, I think I could. Netflix done a special on that. I would just watch
What,
it.
do you have a bit about it?
No, I
No, he
don't
just
ha-
does it to
in
himself.
my head, I'm thinking because I know the things that do the markets.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about them and ringing because they told me they ring Hong Kong. They get their stuff directly from Hong Kong. So I went when they ring up for that stuff.
He's gonna
I
do it
would
again,
love
Sean.
to hear that fucking conversation.
Go for it.
No, I done it last week.
He's
I got
gonna do
a
it
bit
again.
of shit. Did you?
He did it the whole time. I'm just glaring at him like, for fuck's sake. man.
Horror.
That's it, right? Because he
Just-
doesn't
just
do a
a
bit.
name, or
He
what's
goes
it?
hero and then pisses himself.
Did you ever see the documentary Vice done about the guy in China doing the knockoff shoes, and he had the thickest. He was Chinese and the thickest Belfast accent.
I have seen this. I know who you're talking about.
He went to
Was he
Queens.
from here?
No, he came over here to Queens, and then back to China.
That's
It's on
what I mean.
YouTube.
But that's what I mean. The things sound like they're from here. But see,
Aye.
when they're doing deals, right, or they talk to each other, they turn the Belfast off like that. So all the things talk like this, like me, right? Their dad runs with my dad. And Paul, now, although he spent a wee bit of the time in India, Paul's like, aye, Paddy, dead on. What the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
But when he's talking to his sons or in the market and they're discussing prices amongst themselves, it's full fucking. And you're
It's
going,
their language.
Fucking are the
no,
minions?
they're fucking talking in English, but you can't understand it. It's like the travellers. Did you ever see when the travellers are negotiating with you or talking to you? The travellers are, how are you going, Paddy? You all right? But if they're talking to each other, they'll turn around and go, Mick, is it? It's a fucking business man.
Aye,
And you're going, it's English, but it's not, so you don't know what
See,
they're
the
I suppose
Me
it's
and
like
you
us
do
going
that.
to America.
Yeah.
Like here, you'd go a mile a minute, but then you have to slow it down
So,
for the.
Me and you, when we have guests who aren't from Belfast on, we talk like that, and they
Birds.
don't, we're just like, the fuck do you mean? You're fucking that, and they don't know what we're saying.
right.
Because remember last time I had Andrew Ryan on, and he was like, I don't have a
Mesmerised.
fucking clue what you guys are saying.
Mark's probably not understood the whole fucking thing. Like,
Oh no, we've actually, this has been one of the slower paced ones.
Right.
In terms of us speaking.
Wait, have
something-
I brought you down?
No, just we know you would, if we spoke.
something we
Pure
have
Belfast,
to
you
do
wouldn't
that we
understand
never do, right? But I'm
Kiss?
really interested in this. No.
Oh.
I want to find out about Mark and how he get into comedy.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like,
Yeah.
out of all the guests, I want to ask him because I don't know. He's mysterious to me.
He just appeared.
I don't know.
with some
either.
bang.
I did just appear.
You appeared, I met you in the PAV a couple of times, and I may not have been the nicest, I may not have been rude.
You a cunt.
I was in a very bad place, I wasn't talking.
Again, I thought that was the Parkinson's or whatever you had.
Yeah.
But I passed the remarks. God love him.
I was going around the house, I was going around the place interviewing people.
You have Parkinson's now?
Yeah.
What do you have again?
Cerebral palsy.
I'll
So we
remember
don't
my
have
prayers
that up in
next
his
time.
contract.
So I remember when I first met you, I
It's just a character, don't be
yeah.
honest.
There's wee Willie Palsy.
Where exactly do you live?
Fitna.
Fitna.
So it's about 10 mile out of
Do you
Oman.
know Fitna? I don't know if I've been in it,
Probably not.
but I always seen loads of cars for sale on it. In Auto Trader.
Yeah. There's more cars than
And I
people.
always went, Fitna fucking has some motors. Like. They love
All
their
stolen.
motors.
Aye.
They
It's
love
the
their
van
motors.
steals bicycles, we steal cars.
Fitna scene, I don't know what it was, but I always was like, I want to buy an Opel in Fitna. I always wanted to buy an Opel in Fitna, I don't know why. There must have been an Opel for sale. And I
Maybe
liked
some
it.
guy's wife.
Because
in the back of
everyone has a side hustle. Like even my cousin there is car dealers.
Right.
And it's just they're big into their cars, and everybody's a car dealer. And they have 5 or 6 cars at the back for sale always.
it. That's amazing.
Sounds a bit like something here. No?
But because I remember you and McKegney, I think they had the PAV together on the same first night. And I
No, McKegney, would you believe the first time I done the PAV, McKegney was in the very front row.
I knew it was something like that.
And he was thinking about starting. And
Is he from Fitna?
No,
He's
he's
from
from
Mahara.
Mahara.
Dodgy area.
and he messages me the next day. And that's how we got friendly.
You
Yeah.
didn't know each other?
Didn't have a clue. I remember looking at him because his beard. I remember staring at him.
Yeah.
And that was how we met. And then I think it was the second time Keezy was MCing.
Right.
And then that's how he was like, where are you from? Because he's from Oma. I didn't know. And then he booked me then to do the next Bogans.
Yeah.
And that's it has continued on since then.
I think I've gigged with you once.
Yeah, I've actually just thinking up the road. We've never had a decent conversation because it's always been at a club and just go, well, Paddy, how's it going?
Yeah.
You started a story with me one time in Limelight and
Uh-huh.
you didn't get it finished because the show started about gigging in, was it Balik?
Darrygalley.
Darragonnelly? But
Worst
what?
ever gig.
I know this.
You got
yeah.
ran out. Did you?
Well, basically, it was they booked me for a gig, right? And they says we have a big we're Darrygalley, we're right on the border there, and we do this big hoedown once a year in the big community centre. And do you want to do? And I says, look, I'm going to send you a DVD, and you can watch it. And if you think I fit what you want,
Yeah.
then book me. And he was like, right, okay. And I sent him like Dagger, the original Dagger DVD, which is like fucking you wouldn't even show it now.
No.
And fuck up. And your man, I sent it up to him and I says, well, did you get watching it? And he went, yes, watch it, great stuff and all, we'll book you. And I went up, and literally there was a table of fucking pensioners at the front. Everybody brought a homemade lasagna or pasta, and it was like Haley music on before me.
Yeah.
And I went on, and I went, well, I can't do what I was thinking in my head, so I'll just fuck about with the crowd a wee bit. And I went, good to see Westlife then. And literally the whole hall went, boo, like, fuck. They're the veterans of war, you can't say that, you know. And they booked me for 35 minutes, and I went, if I don't do 35 minutes, they won't pay me. Mm-hmm. So they're getting 35 minutes. So I was literally on stage while people were walking about going, don't laugh at him. And the chief of police came up and took it literally went 10, 9, 8, 7, knock, 8, 4, 2, 1. Is there a joke? And I handed the mic to your man, and he got up and he says, that, my friends, is a product of a segregated community.
I mean, he's not wrong.
And I went, who the fuck's he? And somebody said to me, he's the chief of police, Nanaskill. And I went, right, okay. And they made me sit
Was
there
it
for
Orange
2 hours.
Hall?
No.
Just a community hall?
In Derrygallon. And they made me sit there for 2 hours. And they were refusing to give me money. And then I went to the guy that booked me, and I says, you may give me the money. And he says, that didn't go the way I expected. And I went, did you watch the DVD? And he went, we don't have a DVD player. And I went, this isn't my
You just held it
fault.
up to the sun.
Looks alright to me. So he must have just been watching the DVD.
He saw the DVD cover and went, he's a man.
He's
Put him
just
on.
watching the DVD. There was no, it just said Dagger on it. But so I literally, and I was in my black taxi, and I just remember like fighting with them to get the money. And I eventually got the money, and I got into the taxi, and I rung home, and I said to her, I'm going to keep you on the phone until I can get out of Enniskillen, because I think they're going to burn me in a big wicker man here. And it was fucking horrendous. Out of all, one doll who was from Carrickmore, who's married into somebody in Derrygallon, he says, you were actually funny as fuck, but they told us not to laugh because you said that about the veterans.
What year was that?
Fuck. 1842. It felt like 1842. I was driving the black taxi, so it had to be at least 7-8 years ago.
Oh, it's not that long ago. I thought this was years and years
I'm only
ago.
doing comedy 12 years, like, so I think I was probably doing a 4 then.
Aye.
4 or 5 years.
Ah, fuck, I wish I was there, hey.
You probably were.
That'd have been hilarious. See?
That's
That's how I started that hurricane, dude.
But I remember, like, I think probably the first time I seen you was we done that charity gig.
That's right.
And you fucking stole it.
Oh, you smashed the fuck out of
Was that the wee room or the big room?
the wee room?
The wee room, and you went on stage and just went,
Mere did I tell you?
really tell you? And I went, my ears pricked up.
I remember I've wild trouble starting. I can never think of how to start. And I remember
Fuck,
going
you started
before that
that, mate,
stage.
just
going,
with that one line.
what am I going to say here to get myself going? And that's just what came to my head, and I done it like. But it was funny, like it is. I remember like coming. I was terrified. Like it's funny now, all you boys going to Canada and America. I mind thinking going to Belfast. These ones are going to boo me because it was such a different culture in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such
Well,
a difference.
yeah, it
like,
is, yeah.
But no, thankfully, like they talk to me alright.
But I like going to places I'm not from or like I'm not of and doing stand up because I want to be like, am I funny just where
yeah.
I'm from
Yeah.
or
That's
am
a
I
mistake
funny?
a lot of people make at the start. Because at the start, you're like asking your friends and family to go.
Yeah.
And I think it's a wee security blanket thing where you think, well, if they know me, they'll laugh.
Yeah.
You need to make strangers laugh. That's this game.
See, I told nobody for ages
And probably the best thing to do.
because I was like, if I do tell somebody down home, they will laugh.
Yeah, they
because
make
there's
it
such a
confident.
rarity to be
It's
in
your,
the
it's
stand-up.
your
like.
type of place to be like, fucking him thinks he's a funny fella.
Because you get resented for it where we're from a bit.
Yeah.
They're like, you think you're fucking
Yeah.
funny?
Either well, not so much now.
Because you're successful at it. Like, you
Well,
have
no, I know. Actually, it's never really.
Are you Lord Mayor now compared to your man that buried his wife?
Oh no, you'll never beat him.
No.
I'm assistant mayor.
Were you his
No,
wife?
no, home's great, like, because they don't say anything.
No, you're
Like,
just Mark.
I have a friend that I've known from I was 12, and he's yet to even say to me, "You're doing stand up now."
Aye, know what you mean.
He's never even.
You're just Mark.
Just
to him.
he's never even mentioned it, like, and it's
I
so.
take he's watched anything or.
Oh, I'm sure he follows me on social media, but he's never even said you put up a video or it's doing well or you're doing a gay.
Just no reference to it.
no
Do you
reference
have a
at all.
nickname or are you just Mark?
Just it's McKiarney usually.
McKiarney? Is your dad called McKiarney?
No, he's Finbar.
Finbar?
Finbar.
Well,
Oh,
I
it's
haven't called him Barry. Like.
I was going to say, does he get Barry or does he get
He's
Finbar?
Barry.
Finbar. Oh,
Have you any
it's just a
brothers?
different word, man.
Only child.
It's nuts.
See, that's so different from me.
But that's mental there. Like, even in, like, you're a Catholic family.
Well, Mummy has arthritis, and she had it from she was 20.
I don't have arthritis.
She's going.
Parkinson's.
They're all the same.
I've
though.
dementia, apparently.
They were going to bury her when they found out.
She's 21, and they said she told her you might even get one.
Right, okay.
So
you're a
had
special
me.
baby?
So I was bought at the market.
Right.
You came free with a car.
The traveller's done
You're in
your
the boot.
driveway. The traveller's done your driveway, left you off.
I was a Lux penny.
See, that's so different from me and you, because you're one of what?
4.
4, and I'm one of 9.
Yeah, both mum and dad are from families of 9.
Yeah.
Like big fucking families. Like.
Where is it? But to be fair, even here, I'm from a big, like, when I tell people my brothers and sisters, they're like, what the fuck?
Broads, 9 is nuts, like.
Aye, but they're not all in the same house, you know what I mean?
No,
My dad
no.
likes to cast this seed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's some I haven't
Are
even
you the
met.
youngest?
I'm the second oldest.
You're the second. Is there anything wrong with the rest of them, or just you?
There's a lot of ADHD in that family.
Yeah?
There's a lot of ADHD in it.
Usually it happens to the youngest. My old boy's the youngest, and he has every ailment under the fucking sun.
Yeah. He's the runt.
Because he's the runt. He
Yeah.
was the runt, and my granny was like 42, so he was the scrapings of the barn, like.
Yeah.
And he was fed under the table with the pigs.
He wasn't like so much like the product of like being shot into. It was like
But
getting
that's what happened.
toothpaste out of the end.
Your dad was holding on to the umbilical cord, just looking out. Going,
Unbiblical.
"Oh!"
Well, that's it's the.
It's called the umbilical
Our
cord.
fuckers don't even fucking know the proper name for it.
Well, see, like,
Umbilical cord.
I see now, like the.
Umbilical cord.
See, giving birth now is a big deal. They'll have gender reveal parties and all. But their gender, like my granny, my father dropped the kitchen floor and she just kicked him, put that in the cot, like.
Whereas in our family, it's like, what's wrong with this one? And just
Hold it up to the sun as well.
Do you ever watch
Fuck,
that?
he's 3 legs.
The inbred family in Arkansas.
It's me apparently.
Oh, on YouTube?
Aye.
I did. Well, where did I tell you the story? And I swear to God, someday I'm going to make a video about it. Or a film. I'd love to make a film. This is true now. A wee area not far from our house. Now, this was a right few years ago. I don't remember it, but this is a well-known story.
Right. I love
A
this.
woman gave birth at a wedlock. And you remember the times here where that was a wild thing. Like, it was such an embarrassment. A lot of ones would have given the child off to the nuns or whatever. Well, this family didn't. And when the daughter gave birth, the father took the child and put it in the hen house.
Chicken boy.
And reared the boy in the fucking hen house to the stage where he thought he was a chicken.
This is a true story because I know.
This is
it.
the kind of
is
one,
true.
if he were to tell me this, I'd tell him to fuck up.
And did he end up in the orphanage in Belfast because of the way he was?
The last I heard that story, and they heard that the postman found him, and he rang the police, and he was tucked away. But I didn't hear anything else since.
Well, he ended up in. My dad's adopted, and in the same, like in that orphanage in Belfast, the chicken boy ended up.
So it is.
It's
true.
100% true.
That's a great story.
100% true.
And he believed he was a full chicken.
Yeah, because he was a
grew
feral
up
child,
with the
like.
chickens.
He would
The chicken
fucking-
boy that's a legit story, like, and I'm glad that he told it and I didn't tell that.
Because if you were to tell that, I'd call you a liar.
And people will be saying that's balls, but the chicken boy's a legitimate.
Well, I'm
fucking
glad
story.
you said. I didn't know anything about the orphanage.
The fit-
Well, I didn't
But,
know where he came
no,
from.
he's not from Fintona.
I didn't know where he came from, but
down by
genuinely
us,
he came
but-
from the country,
Yeah.
and he ended up in the orphanage in Belfast. The chicken boy, like it's a fucking proper story. Like was in the paper back in the day.
And that boy turned into Jamie Bryson.
Jesus Christ!
No, Jimmy
he gonna
Bright,
come out
That's
to the
right.
meeting
That's
for her,
right.
He
He gets on
listens
top
to
of the
these.
wheelie bin. Goes.
he does. He listens to these. He'll be fucking.
Oh,
coming for
sorry, Jimmy.
you.
Fair, fair play to you, sure.
He said, "Fuck off."
When you go.